Hey, Chris Chesky, how are you tonight, my friend? I am super excited to have Middle Models number 8. I can't believe we made it this far. How are you, my friend? How was your day?
It was long, Dean. It was long. It was a good long, though. You know, it's exhausting doing what we're doing, getting ready. We've got our opening day tomorrow. We're bringing in kids and families to do materials pickup and meet and greets. We've got our virtual Google Meets going with all the teams and their kids tomorrow. And then we really hit the ground running with remote learning on Thursday. I've got an amazing faculty and staff that's killing themselves to make this happen. And you get the same across the district at Charlton Middle. How are you holding up?
I'll tell you what, the sun is shining regardless of anything we do, and we will be ready for tomorrow for our kids. We will make the best of it, and it'll be an awesome opening. There's no doubt about it. So again, a lot of work was front loaded, and we are ready to go, and we can't be any more excited because I know that someone we're going to bring on tonight had a very big part in that front loading of work, who is an amazing educator from your school, Chris. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw the baton right back at you because it's time to just about bring our middle model number 8 on.
That was a good throw, Dean. I caught it right there. So here we go. Let's get that introduction ready. This educator grew up in West Brookfield, Massachusetts. She graduated at Quabog Cougar, then went off to Westfield State College. She studied abroad in Rotherham, England. What a tremendous experience that must have been. Started her educational career out at Dover Sherburne, taught preschool for commerce insurance for 4 years, and then she had some kids. She stayed home for home child care for 5 years, 2nd grade to 5th grade in the Dudley Charlton Regional School District. She's currently a 5th grade teacher in her 17th year at Dudley Middle School. She's married to a wonderful husband with quite a bit of talent himself, 2 grown daughters, and of course, 3 dogs. Let's welcome in Becky Miglionico.
I think we need a drum roll for that next time. Becky, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Dean. Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's our pleasure to have you. What an introduction. And I've had the luxury of knowing Becky for a number of years, even before this. So what a great family, what a great person, and what a fitting model to have tonight in regards to what teaching is all about and how to connect with kids. So welcome, Becky.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Not only is it great for me to have you on the show, Becky, with Dean as the host of Middle Marvels with the Unlock the Middle video cast series that we run, but as your principal at the Middle, I certainly hope that my service to you is one the service that you provide to your colleagues and your kids every day that you walk in the door. It's an absolute honor to have you on the show tonight, Bex.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Hey,
That's
Becky,
great. I love where I am. Yes.
Oh, we already got people chiming in. They already know who's on stage, so we're going to pull it.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris, for doing that. Hey, I'm going to take the first crack.
To do that one.
The first crack of a question here. Becky, tell us about your journey that led you to becoming a teacher. Obviously, we had your bio, but what led you here? What led you to the calling of being a teacher?
I was born, and that was it. As long as I can remember, that's what I wanted to do. I have memories of being a little girl playing, oh my gosh, Jazzy, go. Playing school with my dolls, with my friends. It was a huge part of my growing up. After, elementary school, I kept going. Every chance I had, there were different classes that you could go down and help the kindergartners or whatever. I was so excited because that was truly what I wanted to do. I wanted to teach. When I graduated, I went to Westfield State College, and it was wonderful. I met a lot of great people. I learned a lot there. My last year, after I graduated, I was able to go over to England. And I spent just over a month over there working with a wonderful headmaster, Mrs. Barker. I'll never forget her. And that was fun teaching over there. I was able to teach some American history over there. So I enjoyed that. Wow. And then after that, I started with the little ones, the preschoolers. I worked my way up. I was 2nd grade for a couple years, 3rd grade for about 8 years, and now Dudley Middle School in 5th grade. And every place I go, I think it's my favorite. So like, I'm like, okay, I'll never leave fifth grade. But at the same time, I like the challenge of moving to different grade levels. And every time I get there, I'm like, no, okay, this is really my favorite, So yeah, I love it. It's great.
That's
Well, there's
awesome.
something.
You've got a great outlook and a great perspective. You certainly look the role in terms of being positive, being a mentor. So, since you've been in multiple roles, as an educator, you've changed grades and you seem to really enjoy wherever you land. Think about some of the challenges that you've faced and overcome during your teaching career. What's one of the challenges that sticks out to you, and how did you bounce back or respond to it?
When you look at, I think of challenges very differently, because sometimes you can look at us educators and it's like the challenge that gets you going and motivates you. It's the challenge I like every year, is seeing those 50 kids and saying, okay, I'm not going to hit 75%. I'm not going to hit 80%. I'm going to get to know everyone, 100% of them. I'm going to figure out what makes them tick. I'm going to help them learn, and that is a challenge. A big challenge, but it's a great challenge. That's one of the reasons why I teach. I love it. It's hard for me not to say, guys, that the biggest challenge is we're living it. I mean, to me, this is the biggest challenge. Are there positives? Absolutely. We're learning so much. If you had seen me back in before COVID days on the computer, I was excited to do, send out an assignment on Google Classroom. And now I'm just so proud of myself. I have to show my family everything I do, I can't even believe it. But at the same time, I think as educators, many of us, what we like to do is we take a problem and we have so many needs to meet. We take the problem, we solve it. Okay, let's not talk. Let's do. How are we going to handle this? How do we solve it? And with this, it's kind of tricky because it's just changing every day. And it's the poor parents having to deal with their side of it. It's the teachers. It's tough. It's the administration. But then it keeps going. It gets up into the state level. So I think that part is what makes it tricky. There isn't really a huge solution. We just have to do the best we can. And another positive is that we've got each other, and that's a cool thing.
I'm glad you said that, Becky. One of the things I put out today for my staff is the recognition of the one thing we have is the person standing next to us, who is our biggest ally. And the more times we row in the same direction and we support one another, the better we are, the stronger we are, and the better we're going to be as a result of working through this COVID-19 scenario. So again, you're spot on when you said we're going to be better. We are. As educators, there's no doubt about it. And I love the excitement in your voice when you find these new tools that help you become even more effective in the classroom. Great. We never stop learning, and that's the beauty of being in education. So, hey, listen, I'm going to take this to a different level, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how, with the fifth graders, how do you bring real life experiences into the classroom when you're teaching your content? What do you do to make that connection that really makes kids go, aha, now I know why that's important?
I feel like I could answer that in so many different ways, but what I'm going to say is I kind of think of it as you can bring real life into your lessons, but you can also bring your lessons into real life. And what I mean by that is, I like to just kind of pull learning in no matter what we're doing. And, for example, we're going to be doing Trumpet of the Swan. And every year I like to take the kids outside because off on the side, there's like a little swamp area and it has the reeds and the cattails. And it's like a habitat for swans, could be. And those are all vocabulary words. So when we go out there, the kids think, this is fun. We're outside. We're talking about all these different things. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's fun, but they're probably learning more standing here, taking it all in because it has that meaning of living it. So we can look at it all. We can talk about the vocabulary words. And then I could be like, all right, guys, so talk to me. We're out here. What's the main idea? What are we looking at? the swamp. So you can pull in those Common Core standards just by being out in the world. Okay, guys, what are the details of the swamp, you know, and kind of talk about it that way. I think it's cool because I don't know. I one time had a teacher say, "You love those little kid discussions, don't you?" But I do. I like letting them see, you know what? You just said figurative language. That was an idiom. Oh, yeah. You know, like just bring it in and let them get excited about learning no matter what, you know? So.
Well, Becky, you certainly bring your passion to your game, and your answer, you lit up even more than you had lit up earlier when you started talking about teaching, learning, and kids. So that talks a lot about your core values and the purpose that you have in being in the job, much more than just a job. So you're super passionate about that. Talk to us a little bit about what makes you tick outside of school, outside of education. What are those passions and outside interests that you have?
I have quite a few. It's funny because when you're a teacher, it's kind of like who you are. Like, you know, everywhere you go, I'm a teacher still. I love reading a lot. I learned how to garden this year. And I'm excited about that. I can't say it was like spectacular. The harvest wasn't, but I learned a little. It'll get better. I love family time a lot. I love being with my friends. I love nature. I love going to the ocean. I love my dogs. So yeah, those are the kind of things I do.
That's excellent. I'll tell you, you know, circling back to the teaching part of it, and I've known your family for a long time. You've got an amazing family. You have lots to be proud of, Becky. So you're there, and I'm going to tell you what, but it's real, and you've got a very good family to back all that up. Let's go back of what excites you most about teaching. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What is the thing that you say is the gravitational pull to Dudley Middle School, which I know is the sister school to Charlton Middle School? I see you, Mr. Starr. And we've got some Charlton Middle School folk here tonight making some great comments about their cohorts and partner in crime. So tell me what excites you most.
They're fun.
About going to school.
Once again, guys, it's a tough question. There's so many parts I love about it. I think when it comes down, when it's really all just like, this is what it is, it's the kids. And it is kind of like you said, Dean, when they have that moment, you know, where it's like, oh, I've got it, you know, or when I have the moment and go, I've got them. I know what makes them tick. I know what I need to do. That's a great feeling, you know, and it comes at different times throughout the year for different kids. Sometimes it's more of the challenge and you think you know them really well. And then you're like, oh, I have to play this card a little differently. But I do think it's when you finally sit back and say, I know what, you know, how they learn and they're thriving. That's very exciting.
So teachers learn? You mean, what does that look like? I thought it was only taught. How can they learn? That doesn't make any sense. That is great. I love that.
Every day, all day, right?
Every day, all day. Lifelong learner. Love that.
So, Migs, being the lifelong learner that you are and the experience taker that you are, and I guess the experience embracer, you really look to move yourself forward and better yourself all the time, and you do work hard to make others around you better, take them to their next level. What advice do you have for young educators just starting out in the career today? What's the Becky Migs secret?
Okay, well, my secret came from everyone else that's around me. I would tell a new teacher, stop, look, and listen. Stay true to who you are. Don't feel like you have to be anyone else, but watch. And there is so much you can learn out there from, I mean, the best of the best. I still do things in my classroom that I learned from Louise Williams back in Dudley Elementary, or a little bit of, you know, I have some Becky Patterson in me. I have some Stacy Lynch. She's an 8th grade teacher, you know, just get out there, watch and soak it in. And then it have meaning when you're teaching it. You know, I would never want anyone to feel like I'm saying someone's better. It's just that they have things to share, and it's important that you kind of combine it with who you are as a teacher.
Hey, Becky, I'm going to
Brilliant
dovetail in. I'm going
advice.
to ask you a question that was not part of the script, only because I want to know for my own edification. Are you ready for this? This one's extemporaneous.
Okay, bring it on.
Who has had the most impact on you as an educator growing up, as a teacher? If you could give a shout out to somebody that really impacted who you are today, who would it be? Sorry, Mr. Starr. I know that was on the script, but I think that's fitting for this show.
Okay, now, if I really went way back in time and thought of as a little Becky brain, I'm going to tell you, Mrs. Warburton in 5th grade. She was such a hands-on teacher. She had us making and doing and outside and inside. She definitely kind of just started me off knowing where I wanted to go.
Give her that shout out she deserves. That's
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Toss it back to you, Chris.
You know what, Migs, we are coming up against it, but what I learned from you tonight is what I get to see from you every day. I get to see it amongst you and your colleagues, the way that you interact with them, the effusively positive attitude. It doesn't mean everything's always great. It doesn't mean everything's always perfect, but it means we're looking to solve our problems and move forward together. We really nailed some of the summary of what you are all about and what the summary of our school is all about. District is all about. It was a great opportunity to celebrate a real champion of education tonight in you as Middle Marvel number 8. We have a goal, Becky. Did you know what our goal is with Middle Marvels?
No. What is it?
50 states in the next 50 weeks. We want a Middle Marvel from every single state in our United States and see what we can do to take that to the next level and showcase them across the country, let everybody know some tips and tricks to great educators in the middle level. We are continuing our quest to satisfy that goal. So if you are out there watching this, visit our website, unlockthemiddle.com on Google. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, any other social media like YouTube that you can. Unlock the Middle. Fill out the form, the Middle Marvels nomination, and let's go ahead and showcase your state very soon.
Becky, I want to say thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's always great to have you. You're an amazing educator, and there's no doubt about it that you're going to continue to spread that joy for all those kids and help them learn and reach their goals. Don't stop. Keep being you. Keep that infectious attitude going. Be positive and continue doing that every single day. Great things are going to continue to happen for you.
Thank you so much, both of you. And you know what? I want to give a quick shout out.
Do it.
And that's just to our district. In my school, I love going to school. I do. And I feel like I work with the best people. So thanks, guys, everyone.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Hey, we're going to wrap it up, though. And Becky, we're going to ask you to stay on for a moment. But again, make sure you tune into us on Thursday night as well, as we'll have our next Middle Marvel, number 9. We did have somebody reach out from outside the state. I won't tell you who it is, but I will say 47 years in the classroom. I'm going to be talking to that gentleman later on tonight, and I can't wait to make our connection and bring him live to you. So if you're listening, you know who you are.